What is up, guys? Today I'm in a 2010 Ford Expedition XLT EL and we're going to do a used car review. So this Expedition XLT EL or extended length version is at 123,000 miles. It's around 10 years old now. It still runs and drives pretty well. I'm not really a big Ford guy or a big SUV guy, but I actually like this SUV a lot. So let's start with the interior. As you can see, this is just like any other Expeditions or any other Ford SUV of the era. You have all the standard buttons right there. What I like about this is it doesn't have the hand gear selector here on the side, but it has it here, so I actually prefer that. On the dashboard, as you can see, I wouldn't say that it looks outdated, right? If anything, it looks pretty much up to date. It doesn't look like it's 10 years old unlike on other cars, and it's very easy to understand. I really like how it's outlined, the metallic look on the plastic. One thing that Ford does that I'm not really a fan of is sticking all the controls on this little selector right here. Other car manufacturers are very good at it, where they have multiple selectors which control different things on the car, but this one only has one. Kind of do not prefer that, just because so much fiddling about. You can do this, you can change this whatsoever. It just makes it so complicated to have everything in one controller. I'd say it's a lot better if you have at least two of them. Light control switch, the window controls, the locks. But one thing that I noticed is everything works. So that is a good thing, especially for a car that's 10 years old. Door looks fine, everything operates. It has cloth seats, right, which do get dirty with continued use. This one has the lights right here. You have this additional mirror to see your passengers. Another compartment for your sunglasses. Also, one interesting thing that I've seen on this one that I didn't have on the other Expedition is this. So as you can see, it looks like a regular sun visor, except it does say it's a sliding visor. Most of my cars actually do not have sliding visor, so I'm very thrilled to actually be able to try one. But this one does a little bit extra. So aside from being able to, you know, like what I said, slide it, you know, another thing that it does is once you put that onto the side, so let's say sun is like that direction, put this to the side, slide it around whatsoever, however you need it, but you still have sunlight coming from front. Interestingly enough, Ford actually decided to put another visor. I've never seen a car have two sun visors on one side. I've not really been to a lot of cars, but this is pretty cool for me. Enough of that. There's also the same thing on the other side. Moving on to the rear seats. They're useful as they are. This one does seat up to 8, and it is extended length, so there's a lot more cargo room on the back. And this one does have climate control vents up top. So moving on to the exterior of the car. This one in particular is in blue. It looks very good in blue, and it looks pretty new compared to the other Expedition that I had. I think blue just fits it as a better color. Red is very common with these cars, and the blue just fits it a lot better. This one does have the 5.4 liter V8 engine that Ford offers on this, and to my experience, it still pulls very good. It's still very clean on the engine bay. I mean, I did get it detailed, but it's nothing is leaking. I couldn't say that there's any mechanical problems even after 10 years or 123,000 miles. One thing that I do look for on these cars is the shaking or the shuddering. I don't know how you would call it, but the last Expedition that I had did have that issue. I would go in reverse, the car would just have a hard time moving. It was shuddering basically. It was like shaking. It wouldn't reverse properly until you put some more gas on it. I was told that it was because of the VCT solenoid or valve or whatsoever. When I did buy a F-150 that had the 5.4, he did tell me that he had the same issue, but he had it fixed by installing a VCT solenoid or valve. I don't know exactly what it's called, but that is something to look out for. So one more thing with the exteriors, I've noticed that one of the wheels, or some of the wheels, started to form some type of rust on it. When I had it detailed, they did clean it up pretty good. Not that clean though. I mean, it's as clean as they can get without putting any more extra time and effort to it. But one of the wheels did have a little bit worse type of rusting that he can't take it off with the time that he had. So it was left over there. I mean, I didn't see it as a big issue. I don't see it affecting the car that much. The frame of the vehicle, everything underneath looks pretty good. It's not rusted. So I believe the body should be in good condition as well. The engine feels like it's in good condition. The outside body looks like it's in good condition. One thing about the Expedition, and I've seen this on a lot of Expeditions, is the very back door or the cargo door, it would have paint chips on it, or basically the paint will start chipping after some time, and it's very common with these Expeditions. Almost all the Expeditions that I've seen has that type of chipping on it. If you know exactly what I'm talking about or know why that's the case, let me know in the comments down below. I would love to know why that's been happening and why Ford is doing nothing about it, or if they did something about it but it just didn't work. I do not know, but do let me know what you know about it in the comments. Let's go for a drive. So it does start up right away. No check engine lights, none of that whatsoever. You know, even after 123,000 miles, this big SUV still runs very smoothly. It does have the 4x4 or 4-wheel drive. I've tested it out on 4 auto, 4 high, and 4 low, and they do work properly. But right now we're gonna drive in 2 high or rear wheel drive, and we're gonna find out. So I'm gonna reverse right now, always trying to see if it's gonna start shuddering or vibrating or whatsoever, stall, however you call it. But it's not happening with this one. So I believe the VCT was either fixed back then, or it just never had that issue, or it's never gonna have that issue. You know, it's always a good thing if your car that you're buying used does not have that issue. But of course, you know, you always have to check if that is the case. So basically this, I'm going through humps right now, and it's very comfortable going through these humps. And this is a very good road that I'm on right now. Nothing really, you know, it's not like, it's a very smooth surface is what I'm saying, and it rides smooth on it. I mean, even on, it pulls. This vehicle can pull itself, that I know. Now I'm on the almost onto the highway. It's still driving smooth. I was driving an X6 on just regular roads, and that one is a bit rough of a ride. I don't know if that's normal on X6s, but it feels like something was wrong with the suspension on that one. So this one, I can assure you that this one, the suspension is still working good. I don't know if it's the added extra weight that they upgraded the suspension, or the added extra weight made it feel better. You know, driving on this road, it's not a perfect road, but it's just very comfortable. You know, that's one of the first things that I noticed with this vehicle, is it's just very comfortable to ride on. The 5.4 V8 that it has, it is just very, very capable of pulling its own weight and possibly pulling a trailer or whatsoever. To how much, I don't know, but the F-150 does have the same engine, so it can probably tow as much as what the F-150 tows. So except for this is going to be heavier than the F-150. Another thing that I noticed with this vehicle is that it's very quiet inside. I've never had or never driven a vehicle that is this quiet inside. But anyways, my point is it's very comfortable. It's very quiet in here, you know. In general, I would say this is a very good used car for the mileage that it has. You know, it's probably still gonna have, you know, tens of thousands of miles to drive still remaining on it. So I don't see why it would be a bad buy. It will be very good, especially for big families. Even better if you have pets. You can just put the pets on the back, and even if you have 5 kids, or you can fit them in here. You can bring the whole family plus pets very easily, or a lot of cargo. $9,000 would be a very reasonable price for it from a private seller. I've seen dealerships look for over $10,000 on this one. Definitely don't buy from them. In conclusion, would I buy a 2010 Ford Expedition with 123,000 miles? Of course I will. I'm pretty sure you can buy it for a good price, especially with 4-wheel drive. Winter is about to hit. This will be a very good car for a family. It will bring you anywhere you need to go. Just be mindful, the prices that I give out is going to be different from state to state. It's not going to be that much different, but you know, that's why you have KBB or NADA to check the book value for your cars.